Hello, my YouTube friends. I am back with another mod spotlight. This one is on the old version of thermal expansion. I told you in the previous mod spotlight that I was going to do one on this mod, and as you can see, I am rocking a full set of power suit. If you don't know what that is, I will also have to do another mod spotlight on that one in a second. So let's just go to a nice area over here that is relatively empty. So, thermal expansion is a mod about byproducts, I suppose. No, it's just a mod about processing. So, if this thing works, dang it. Okay, let's see if I can find it over here then, huh? Should be down here. I have to do one on every single one of these. That would have been useful. If you guys notice, my voice should be a bit clearer. I did find my add-on to my headset that gives it a mic. So instead of using my default mic that I use, I am using the mic that's built in to the headset, which is nice. Here we go. Thermal expansion. So it'll only show stuff from thermal expansion. Okay, a couple of these things are from industrial craft. I don't know why they're there, but this is essentially thermal expansion, more or less. Now, thermal expansion, it will spawn a couple of these ores. There is ferrous ore, there's lead ore, there's silver ore, there's tin ore, and there is copper ore. Now, if you did not know, these are all interchangeable with other ores of the same kind. So if you find another copper ore from another mod, you can use both copper ingots from them. So let's see. I did not want to do that. I did not want to do that either. Um, okay, there we go. Okay. So now you've seen the world gen, the copper ore, tin ore, silver ore, the lead ore, and the ferrous ore. Now we are going to go into the basic machines. Now this is the energy. You can spawn a block that has full energy. You can change the output and input. It stores Minecraft jewels in this old version instead of redstone flux in the newer version. Now these are all mods for the Ultimate Pack, not the Unhinged or Unleashed. Keep that in mind. Um, I always like to set this to max because otherwise it can slow the charging of the machines. Now, in order to make this redstone energy cell, first of all you'll need to charge it after you make it. But you will need electrum ingots, you will need lead ingots, you will need a redstone conductance coil, you will need an energy cell frame full. And so I'm going to go through and show you how to do each thing. Redstone conductance coil, simple enough. It's got electrum and some redstone. Electrum, on the other hand, is a different story. You need an induction smelter and a silver ingot and a piece of gold. And I don't know why there's two of those. That's a bit weird. But you need a piece of silver, a piece of gold, and you put it in one of their induction smelters to get two electrum ingots. Or you could take a dust of each and craft them together to get an two electrum blend, which you can smelt into an electrum ingot. So, now that we've got the electrum out of the way, we need to get to the energy cell frame full. You will need a liquid transposer, which I will go over in a bit. You will need molten redstone, which I will also go over in a bit. And you put the energy cell frame empty into it to get the energy cell frame full. To get the empty one, you need electrum ingots, you need hardened glass, and you need a diamond. To get hardened glass, you can only do this with the induction smelter. Sorry I'm talking so fast. There's a lot to it. Pulverized obsidian, which is you throw two obsidian in either a macerator or a pulverizer, whatever you want to use, and a piece of lead, and you get two hardened glass. And hardened glass is useful for almost everything in this mod. And now another thing to note, in order to get this molten redstone, you will need a magma crucible, and you will need to throw redstone dust in there. Now, in order to fill the energy cell frame empty to an energy cell frame full, you will need 40 redstone melted down. Exactly 40 will leave this entirely empty, and it will fill one energy cell frame. Now, as for the energy conduits, which are like the pipes for the electricity, in this older version, there's electrum on both sides and hardened glass in the middle. You get 4 of them, and they say empty in parentheses. Now, in order to fill them, you will need to put them in a liquid transposer with molten redstone. This time, you will not need 40 to fill each one. Please God, no. And in order to do this, as you can see, it'll tell you the amount, but I'm going to tell you in terms you can understand, kinda. It'll take 80 minecreft joules, so to take power-wise and craft it. It'll take 50 micro buckets, which is the equivalent of 2 molten redstone, 2 redstone that have been melted down for each conduit. So 2 redstone per conduit, just melted down, processed, and it'll get you a redstone energy conduit. And so, now that we've gone over that, I'm going to grab myself a couple of those redstone conduits, if I can see them anywhere. That's weird. I'll take the crescent hammer. It's like their tool. Everyone has a tool. It's like their version of the wrench, for those of you who love industrial craft. I do not know why that is not in there. That is quite annoying. I'll just search for it. Okay, here we go. Redstone energy conduit. You'll notice it's like a pipe. It's got this cute little arrow, which is very useful. Now the crescent hammer, it can change it from, as you can see, this arrow means going into, so all the electricity that goes into these wires will go into this energy cell, or you can hit it with the crescent hammer and it'll go into the out of formation. And if you'll notice, you can go in here and you'll notice it drained a little bit of electricity just filling the pipes. So if you use a lot of pipes, do not be worried if it continuously drains, because eventually it will stop. Because if I add a load of these things, if I can actually connect them like a normal person, just gonna connect them all up like that, you will notice the electricity in here is a bit lower than it was before. So, anywho, let's get set up. First of all, you're going to need to generate some electricity. Now, the electricity is just minecreft joules. If you know buildcraft, it's buildcraft energy. So, generate some buildcraft energy, pump it into this, and you'll be fine. Oh, and these work as buildcraft energy pipes. The only problem, or the good thing about them, is that they do not explode when they get full, which is great, because the main problem with buildcraft pipes is they're exploding. Okay, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so now we're going to hit this with the crescent hammer to fill all that up. And we're going to grab ourselves one of every single one of these things. Or at least I'm going to have to scroll through until I find them, since I got rid of this stupid thing again. Sorry I'm taking a while. Okay, so here they are. Powered furnace, pulverizer, sawmill, induction smelter, magma crucible, liquid transposer, glacial precipitator, igneous extruder, aqueous accumulator. They all have really complicated names. There's also energy tesseract, liquid tesseract, item tesseract, and then there's a steam engine and a magmatic engine, which are basically these guys' version of buildcraft. They generate buildcraft again. This one takes lava, this one just takes coal and water. So don't worry about those, just get a basic steam engine, or a Stirling engine. for now for basic powering. So now I am going to show you the interface of each of these and how to make them. But first I gotta place them down next to each other in the right order. At least my definition of the right order. Okay, throw the macro crucible right there. And then the aqueous accumulator off to the side over here. The igneous extruder also off to the side over here. Glacial precipitator. I'm not sure, does that one take electricity? Yeah, it takes electricity. Okay, and then the other thing was a liquid transposer, which we already got. That's weird. Okay, it'll look pretty complicated from the start, but each one is used for different things. The pulverizer, for instance, if you'll notice, first of all, I'm going to go through these tabs, actually. So right now, it's power usage, it's maximum power usage, it's energy stored. Now, if you'll notice this bar over here, it says 4,800 minecreft joules out of 4,800 minecreft joules. Each different one, depending on what it is, like the magma crucible has a lot higher, 36,000 instead of 4,800. So it'll hold a lot more electricity, and if you'll notice, it's already got that much gone just charging these guys. But that's mainly because of the magma crucible. So I highly suggest turning off the energy to the magma crucible when not using it, because it is an energy hog when it's charging its battery, and if you're processing stuff and the energy hog is sitting there. Okay. That's okay. Well, that was fail a bit. I put a pulverizer there instead of the liquid transposer. Let's see. Here we go, liquid transposer. Of course I didn't. Throw that down. Okay. Now that we got all the stuff set up. First of all, so we already went through the energy. This redstone, you can turn it off so redstone doesn't affect it at all. You can turn it to this, which means if there's a redstone signal, it'll stop working. And this, which means if it doesn't have a redstone signal, it'll stop working. Or just this, so if there's a redstone signal nearby, it doesn't really give a crap. Then there's the configuration. This is my favorite thing about thermal expansion right here. If you hold shift, it'll go to 0 whenever you click on it. It'll have absolutely no input, no output, anything. Now if you click it once, it'll scroll to the first thing, which in this case is blue. So on the left side is now the input. Now the top side is also the input now, and you'll notice that the block will update. And so now the top side is the output of this one, and now the top side is the output of that one, and now the top side is the output of both. Now we're just going to set up a basic setup over here. We're going to set the orange so that both the actual ore and the byproduct head over to the powered furnace. And if we could pipe in through the, well, I suppose we could set it to the back. So we could pipe in through the back if we wanted to. You could set something up to shoot some stuff into the back of that. But I don't want to worry about it right now, so we're just not going to. Now the pulverizer is way better than the macerator because it has byproducts. So first of all, we're going to get ourselves some copper. Oops, I pushed P too many times. So we're going to get ourselves some of that copper ore that I showed you at the start. We're going to throw it in the pulverizer, and you'll notice since it's full, this thing is also full. When this thing's full, it means it goes really fast. And now the cool thing about this is not only does it take the 2 dust and automatically shoot it to the right, where this dude's input is on the left. So this guy says output to the right, this guy says input from the left, and so this guy passes it straight to this guy, which is absolutely perfect in this fail. So it'll smelt copper ingots, and now you can notice in the bottom it says gold dust. This is a 10% byproduct, 10% chance of byproduct from copper ore. Each one, if you hit U on it, you will notice that it goes through. It says different things you can do. Now it says 10% chance of gold, whether it takes, it gives you 2 for your 1 ore, which is great. It's basically a macerator with a byproduct. It's amazing, if you ask me. Now that is done, we're going to go to the power furnace. Pretty simple. Uses the electricity, Minecraft jewels, to cook stuff. That's just about it. Okay, so liquid transposer takes liquids in and out of things. Now, if you set it to this, it will take liquids from whatever object you put in here. It will put the liquid here, and it'll put the item that the liquid was previously stored in here. And it has a tank of 10 buckets. So let's just get ourselves some lava. Just grab ourselves a couple buckets of lava. We'll throw the lava in there, and bam. Now there's 1,000 lava there, and unfortunately the red outputted over here to the magma crucible, which is annoying. Just turn off all the outputs and inputs. And now we put the other lava bucket in there. You can see that it put the lava there. Now we put the buckets back in here, and we flip it over here. It takes the liquid from here and puts it in the bucket. The reason why it isn't stacking is because it doesn't stack. So that's a liquid transposer. Magma Crucible, I'm going to go through and quickly show you how to melt some cobble and how to melt some redstone for those redstone energy conduits I showed you before. No, I did not want the conduits, I wanted just the redstone. Okay, so we're going to throw the redstone in there, and it'll melt, and it'll show 25, now 50, and it'll keep going and going and going. And do keep in mind, this does suck up a lot of power. As you can see, it is going down very, very fast. Now, we're going to set the output of this magma crucible to the left, because now we're going to set the input of this to the blue. And bam, we got our molten redstone right there. And so, as you'll notice, as it keeps melting down, this will fill up with molten redstone, and it'll be great. Now, one thing that we do need is a frame. Here we go. Energy cell frame empty. And now once this fills up to 1,000, we'll be able to throw it in there. But I suppose since we are able to at the moment, we'll get some energy conduits that are empty, throw them in there, and demonstrate how it turns empty energy conduits into full energy conduits. Or just regular energy conduits, I should say. So, now that we've gone over that, there are a couple of little weird things that you can do. Like this magma crucible, for instance, it cannot only be used to melt redstone. There's other things, like using cobblestone. It'll melt cobblestone into lava. It just takes a very long time and a lot of electricity. Although a good tip is melting into lava, it'll take half as much electricity if you use netherrack than cobble. Okay, so let's get ourselves some logs for this sawmill. Or I could just say wood. You know they aren't called logs. Just call it oak wood. Okay. Well, for the sawmill, first of all, we're going to turn off all the sides, because I hate how they keep doing that, outputting the other devices. Now, for the sawmill, you'll notice I put one in there, and you get 6. And now this sawdust, it can be used for not very many things. It's just used to make this compressed sawdust. 8 sawdust makes a compressed sawdust. Use the compressed sawdust. You can either cook it in charcoal or cook it into charcoal. Well, it's used for charcoal. That's pretty much it. It increases your wood output, but it takes electricity. It's pretty easy to make. It literally just takes an iron axe and the basic materials to make. Now this glacial precipitator, this is pretty awesome. Although I should first go over the aqueous accumulator so I can hook one up to it, because it is I'm just gonna blow that up real quick. Bring our aqueous accumulator, whichever one is that. Ah, here we go. Aqueous accumulator. Aqueous, I don't really care how you pronounce it, honestly. And so, we're going to need some cobblestone. We're going to place it around this. This is just my basic setup here. Um, so what you're going to need to do is surround it by at least 2 source blocks of water. So I am going to get myself some. No, I need source. Still. Okay, so it goes right there. You'll notice inside of here, it's slowly increasing. It would have increased. It increases the same speed because there's only one. And now it's automatically putting it in the glacial precipitator, as you can see. Um, so now if you put a second one there, bam, it starts filling fast. If you put a third one there, it starts filling even faster. You put a fourth one there, it goes the fastest it can go. But it's only 4. It's basically taking advantage of the 2 water source blocks flowing together and making 1 water source block. And now this glacier precipitator, it's pretty damn cool. It just takes water, you set it to whatever you want, like snowballs. It uses electricity, makes snowballs for you. So you can have a snowball fight, and you don't even have to worry about it. So you set it to snow blocks, it'll make snow blocks for you. You set it to ice, it'll make ice for you. Although it takes a bit longer for the ice and it takes a bit more materials. Um, all of it's just vanilla. So like vanilla ice, it's just ice. Okay, so now that we've gone over the glacial precipitator, there's one more thing. I am going to need the aqueous accumulator again because it's water tabulous. And this thing takes water. Yeah. We'll throw 2 blocks on there and it'll start filling this up. There we go. You'll notice one side is set to water and the other side is set to lava. So you can't actually place the lava in here and have it work. You have to take the lava bucket in your hand and right click with it and it'll put it in there. And once there's enough in there, which it only takes 4 of each at a time. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay, so that's the reason why. Now the igneous extruder, it takes advantage of the 1 lava block, 1 water flow together, make a cobble. So you can have an infinite amount of cobble, or you could set it to stone. It'll use a very, very small amount, 2 micro buckets for each piece of stone. That's basically just cooking the cobblestone. Or you could set it to obsidian. I never use this for stone. But you can set it to obsidian, and it will take 1 bucket of lava and 1 bucket of water, and it will make a piece of obsidian. And so, I'm sorry about that background noise, guys. So it'll make you some obsidian, which is nice, but unfortunately, since that's only 994 instead of 1,000, it won't make enough. So that's an easy way of getting obsidian, is melting it down in the magma crucible over here. Right here. Where did it output to? Oh yeah, over here. See? I told you. It outputted over to here, and now there's 1 bucket of lava in there from the 1 cobblestone I put in there. So you can set this up, and this can go anywhere. It doesn't take power. This one doesn't take power. The only things that take power are on the power line over here. That is, as of right now, just about it. All of thermal expansion is that. It is definitely an amazing mod. I love this mod. It's just awesome. Um, although, on the other hand, it is a bit of a pain, or not, it actually isn't that much of a pain at all to make. First thing I suggest you ever make is a pulverizer, because it doubles, it has a byproduct, and it's cheaper to make than a macerator, and the power system's a lot easier. You just get a steam engine or a Stirling engine, whatever you want to call it. Old Minecraftians will know it was originally called the steam engine, regardless of its lack of use of steam. This is the old version, so it uses Minecraft Jewels instead of redstone flux, which is what the new version will use. I am going to do an update video on what came out in between this one for the Ultimate Pack and what came out for during the other one after the update. So, with that, I'm going to end this episode of the Mod Spotlight Thermal Expansion, and hopefully you guys can have enjoyed this video, learned whatever you needed to know, And I guess I'll see you later. If I can get this. There we go. Bye.